I hated being a mom. I hated being a stay-at-home mom. I felt worthless. I felt worthless as a mom. Hey everyone, welcome. My name is Bianca. I'm so happy that you're here. This is my channel where we talk about motherhood, loving Jesus, and life. I'm so happy to have you guys here. Today I have a super encouraging video to all of my mamas, especially my stay-at-home mamas. I'm super excited to bring you guys this video and talk about the tips and the dynamics that I had to change in order to enjoy motherhood and really fight those voices that were telling me that being a stay-at-home mom wasn't good enough. As a first-time mom and a stay-at-home mom, it was super easy for me to feel resentful of my husband. It was super easy for me to feel resentful that he had a career and I was staying at home and I was with the kids and everything was monotonous for me because there isn't really like a start and a finish. It's just like a continuation of responsibilities. It's like moms know this, even as working moms. Like when you get home, your responsibilities are continuous. There's never really like a start and an end. There's not a clock in and a clock out. You're just continuously doing the same thing over and over again. So I was getting really resentful. I was just like, oh my gosh, I cannot do this anymore. I hated being a mom. I hated being a stay-at-home mom. I felt worthless. I felt worthless as a mom, and it was so hard for me to surrender that to the Lord and surrender those feelings. And I started pursuing different things in order to have some sort of accomplishment and some sort of identity outside of being a mom. So if you're feeling anything like that, I want to encourage you and tell you that I was there too, and I have learned to love being a mom and love being a stay-at-home mom, love being able to take care of my kids and raise my kids how I want. So if you feel like you're stuck, if you feel like I cannot do this another day, like I am just up to here with my motherhood responsibilities, with my household responsibilities, I'm here to tell you, you're not alone. I felt those exact same ways. I literally, like, it makes me cringe in my heart, but I really just did not like being a mom. I was not thriving. I was barely even surviving. Looking back now, I realize that it was the enemy attacking me. It was the enemy making me not only resent my husband, resent my kids, resent my decision of staying home. It was the enemy's attack because the enemy loves to split up families. A family unit, especially a Christian family unit, is so dangerous to the enemy. And when he can split that up, when he can cause any sort of imbalance and hurt in that family, he wins. The enemy was winning in that little short period of my life, but I'm so happy to say that the Lord has redeemed that, and the Lord has given me so much joy, and I honestly feel joyful. Another thing that I noticed when I was going through those dark times was I was listening to too many negative inputs in my life. Was it family who wasn't meaning, they weren't meaning to hurt me, they weren't meaning to be negative, but it was family, it was social media, it was a lot of social media at the time. I was just scrolling for hours. I'm just gonna stop there because it was just really social media. Social media was telling me that being a mom sucked. Being a mom was hard and annoying and an inconvenience, and girl, when do I just get to hang out? When do I just get to escape? When do I get to just sit down and drink my wine? It's time for mommy juice. I can't handle your tantrum. It's time for my mommy juice. So the whole mommy juice culture was so pronounced in my social media, obviously because I was just consuming that content, consuming that narrative. So social media was like, this is what you want, this is what you're gonna get, honey. So that's everything that I was listening to. I was listening to how inconvenient being a mom was, and I was believing it. Like, I got so brainwashed by what I was consuming. So start taking notes about what's coming up on your algorithm, what's going on in your Instagram feed. Is this something that you want to be listening to? So start using your discernment and trying to see what is being fed to you, honestly. Another concept that was really upsetting me and making me feel horrible was the concept of losing yourself. You lose yourself in motherhood. All those narratives really started to affect me. Really started comparing myself in that season, in that phase of life, to who I was, to who I wanted to be. So during those times, I really was comparing myself. Like I became a mom at 25, I want to say. I don't remember. Holy cannoli. I started comparing myself in that time to who I used to be. The fun girl who partied, the fun girl who had so much time in her hands, the fun girl who could sleep, the fun girl who had XYZ. Had her nails done, had her hair did, had her eyelashes done, all the things. Had her makeup done all the time. I don't have any makeup now, but comparison is a thief of joy, and you can compare yourself to who you used to be. That being said, I did lose myself. I really did. But I am so happy I did. I am so happy that I lost myself and I became who I am now. Part of losing yourself is part of your sanctification, part of your edification. I had to lose myself to become who I am now, and I'm so thankful to the Lord. I'm so grateful that I am no longer my 22-year-old self. Like, my 22-year-old self would have been a horrible mom. I would have been a disaster. Losing yourself when you become a mom is totally normal. It's totally 100% normal, you guys. There is growing pains. Had I known that losing myself was part of the process of becoming who the Lord called me to be as a mom, I would have not fought it. I would have just been like, yes, I'm losing myself, but it needs to happen. Honey, you are immature, you are selfish, and you are an angry person. You need to grow up, and you're gonna lose yourself, but fret not. You are gonna become a better person, a better mom, the mom that the Lord wants you to be, the mom that He made you to be. In Psalms 139 verse 14, it says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and that is talking about a baby in the womb, but also just who we are, who He made us to be from the womb. So we are wonderfully and fearfully made, who we're supposed to be, who the Lord has called us to be as mothers. And losing yourself is just part of your metamorphosis. It's just part of it. It's gonna stink, there's growing pains, but it's gonna be good. The top 3 things to help me change my outlook of being a mom. Number 1, I started taking notice who I was being influenced by. Who is talking to me on social media? What is happening? Is it just a bunch of moms complaining about being a mom? Okay, I'm gonna take that away. I don't need to hear that. I already know being a mom is hard. Yes, there's some funny things that you can laugh at, like, oh, that's so relatable, but don't take it to heart. It's gonna pass. This tiny phase of our lives, of our little kids being so little and so dependent on us, is so small. It's so tiny. Rosalie is playing by herself right here. Like, last year she didn't do that. Now she's doing that, and it's so cool. Another thing is in 2 Corinthians 10:5, it talks about taking captive of our thoughts. So I took captive of all of those negative thoughts. The Lord has given us the power to train our minds, to take captive of our thoughts. And all of those negative thoughts that the enemy was attacking me with, saying that I wasn't good enough, I took those thoughts, pointed them back to the Lord. What does the Lord say about me? Am I worthy? 100%. That's what God says about me. So instead of listening to the enemy, I started listening to what the Lord was telling me, and that literally changed my life. And the last thing was I started praying. My last video was about prayer, and I was saying how I'm always in prayer, and it's true. Like, I'm literally just always praying, like seeking Him first, and staying in prayer has been so helpful for my mind, for my spiritual well-being, and just being a good mom to my kids and a good wife to my husband, most importantly. But that's another topic we'll touch on maybe in a couple weeks. But yeah, so those have been the top 3 things that have helped me really be a joyful mom, finding joy in motherhood when the world is telling you that being a mom and staying at home sucks. I hope this is helpful. I hope that you took some tips, some pointers, and feel encouraged that feeling joyful in motherhood is totally possible, and being a joyful mom is what your kids need. So thank you guys so much for being here. Please like, subscribe, comment, all the things, and comment down below what you want to hear from me next. I'm so excited to be here and so excited to be talking to you guys. See you next time. Bye.